Hey there, witches. I am here with another video concerning the hatred and love for witches in media, for TV shows, for movies that are centered around witches or pagans, or the fictitious cartoonery of a witch or pagan. There is a bittersweet feeling for this. A lot of the times it's very black and white with this topic. There are the witches who hate these shows because it gives us a continually growing negative image with the media. And then there are witches who really love these shows, not only for their storyline, but for the fact that we can pull a Feruza book and we can actually fall so in love with the topic, and we look up what it means, and we learn about things. So some witches feel that these negative shows actually raise awareness because people will research. I'm going to start off by dropping a few titles. We can start with children's movies, Hocus Pocus. Halloween Town. Then you have things like Practical Magic. Then you have the infamous Craft. And then you have these TV shows like American Horror Story Coven Season 3. Then you have the up-and-coming Salem. Now, all of the movies and shows I just listed, I personally love. I love all of them. I don't feel bad. I don't have a guilt for it. We're going to start with the children's movies. Hocus Pocus. It was just very stereotypical. You know, the witches literally ate the souls of children to stay alive. But it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. There was a black cat who couldn't die. You know, and it was fun to see the aspect of a black cat who hated witches. So even though that does really nothing for the witch community, it was still just a fun movie, and we should just relax a little bit. Then you have Practical Magic, Halloween Town. Halloween Town was fun for me because it was kind of a new twist on every other witch movie made before that, and it also portrayed the witches as good people. I think her name was Marnie. I haven't seen the movie in years, but Marnie and her grandmother was the coolest thing ever, and they were good people. They were good, honest people, and that made witches look good. They weren't green. They didn't have a big wart. Practical Magic. Who doesn't love a movie with Sandra Bullock? That showed a big sense of community and a big sense of family values. I mean, even though, again, it's a completely fictitious movie about witches, it showed that they were people too. The Craft is like my favorite movie ever, all the time, every year. Feruza Bulk was the actress who played Nancy in The Craft, and she was so curious and fell so deeply in love with the religion behind the craft that she became pagan. And she is such a well-known pagan. And she lives, I think, right now in California. And she has her own shop, or at least she did the last time I checked. And that just goes to show that whenever you see something, you know, that you're not familiar with, you're going to look it up, you know, and you're going to maybe fall in love with it. And I really just thought that was great. Then you have American Horror Story and Salem. It's entertainment value. With American Horror Story, it was a great season, and honestly, I had only ever seen the third season because it was about witches and set in New Orleans. But still, my controversy with that is they were fucking crazy. The only one that wasn't crazy was Mystic Day, and she was still a little crazy. But I mean, how can you hate a show that, like, has a featured guest of Stevie Nicks? You can't. That's the answer. So my only problem was that they were nuts. They were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I was actually questioning a lot, like, oh my god, are covens like that? Covens aren't like that. I cannot say it enough. Covens are not like that. Whenever you enter a coven, you enter in perfect love and perfect trust. Those hoes were crazy. They were crazy. Don't do that. Salem. It is a new show. It only has, like, I think 3 episodes right now. I love it to pieces. This is why I love it to pieces. Every movie or show that's ever been made before on the Salem witchcraft trials have all been a strong portrayal of there were no witches, which, I mean, honestly, that's debatable. I mean, there are a few that you were like, could have been a witch. But, I mean, it was pointing out that it was all mass hysteria, or whatever theory you have beside, like, inside of what happened in 1692. And they just took that, and they spun it completely around, and they said there were witches, and they antagonized the hell out of these Puritans, because that girl was angry. I love that. That is such a different spin on it. I love it. I love it to pieces, and I don't feel bad. For you pagans out there who are offended by this, I 100% understand. I see that you feel that this is making our already bad reputation even worse. I really do. And you have every right to be upset. And you have every right not to like that show or movie. Send them a letter. Do something. Do what you feel like you need to do. But honestly, it is your responsibility to disprove stereotypes. People are going to say things and do things and produce shows and movies that you're not going to like and that portray our religion in a negative light, and honestly, that happens to every religion. Every religion is made fun of by someone. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jewish, there is always going to be a group of people who make you look bad, or a group of people that just pick on you, that are just bullies. It is your job to disprove that. It is your job as a pagan, as a follower of the goddess. It is your job to point out what we're really like. So, I understand your frustration with these movies, but at the end of the day, they have their right to freedom of speech. And if they want to make a movie saying that every witch is the devil and we're terrible people, in America they have the right to do that, and it is not up to us to take that from them. So if someone wants to spew out bullcrap that witches are just hateful, terrible things, they have the right to do that, but it is your job as a pagan to disprove that and try to counteract that hatred. I come from a relatively small area of Louisiana. It's definitely not as diverse as New Orleans, but it's definitely not as small as some of the areas. So even though there are those very, very great, very religiously tolerant people, I still get stares, I still get called names, I still hear whispers about me, and I'm an awesome person. I'm funny, and I'm smart, I'm a pretty cool girl. And it's because of my religion that I am belittled a lot of the time. I just have to deal with that. If I can come on YouTube and change someone's mind or to educate someone, that's great. That's why I'm here. So the media's going to keep doing their thing, and it's up to you to solve that. So I don't feel bad that I love Salem. You guys just got to do what you got to do. That's my rant. Sorry for wasting 10 minutes of your life. Blessed be.